Thank you all for joining me today. For those of you who are new to this channel, I strongly recommend that after you get done watching this video, you make it a point to go back and watch one of my most recent uploaded videos titled Democrats Stab Killer Mike in the Back, calling him more dangerous than Kanye West. The reason that I'm referring this video to those of you who are new to the channel is because that video is a more accurate representation of how I typically present myself on this channel as it pertains to pre-recorded uploaded videos. This video is a lot smoother and cleaner, more direct and straight to the point. Then this video will probably come off as that you're watching right now, because with this particular video concerning Stacey Abrams, I'll be shooting straight from the hip, and I'm doing this for the sake of time, just to be able to get this video out. So once again, if you're new to the channel, for a more accurate representation of this channel and how I typically present myself and my information, please go back and watch this video here. It's titled Democrats Stabbed Killer Mike in the Back, calling him more dangerous than Kanye West. Now, let's get into today's video. Now, many of you may have seen on social media, particularly Twitter, I believe it was yesterday, there was a video circulating of Stacey Abrams speaking on the trouble that she's been speaking on the trouble that she's been having with Black men as it pertains to them leaning a little bit more towards Brian Kemp than towards her. So I want to play that video for you now, and then we'll get back into the discussion.
I do not believe it's because of a deep well of enthusiasm for my opponent. We know that Black voters are often discounted, and unfortunately this year Black men have been a very targeted population for misinformation. Not misinformation about what they want, but about why they want what they deserve. And my campaign has been the only one that has very intentionally, thoughtfully, and consistently reached out. That has been misconstrued as concern, when indeed it's just respect.
Now, it's been very nauseating and irritating and everything negative, all the above, this election cycle as it pertains to the midterms, sitting back and listening to the way in which the Democratic Party continues to misrepresent Black men who have the audacity to think for themselves and weigh everything on the table and say, you know what, maybe instead of voting Democrat, I'll vote Republican this time, or maybe I'll vote third party. Or maybe because I feel that no one is speaking to me directly or to the Black community directly or just to us Americans at large directly or accordingly, I'm just going to sit out this midterm. Any Black man that has made up their own conscious decision on what they want to do and who they want to vote for and why they want to do it, if it's not for the Democratic Party, you're automatically casted out as being misinformed, you've succumbed to disinformation or misinformation, or you're just simply just stupid, right? Here's a couple of examples as far as articles that I've covered in the past regarding this, and I'm going to pull that up for you right now. Many of you remember this article from the LA Times that I covered called "These Black Men Say They'll Vote for Caruso, Not Bass. Is this the Ice Cube effect?" So for Black men in Los Angeles who are going to vote for Caruso as opposed to Karen Bass in the mayoral race, you must be suffering from the Ice Cube effect, right? It can't possibly be because you're making your own decisions and you really feel Caruso is the best man for the job. No, you're suffering from the Ice Cube effect. Also, you've seen with articles that I've covered in the past as well concerning Killer Mike. So if you're making up your own decisions to say, hey, you know, I want to vote for Brian Kemp, you know, or I'm considering him, I'm at least listening to what he has to say, you're automatically casted out now as being more politically dangerous than Kanye West, right? And then, of course, there's the classic cousin Pookie tirade that Barack Obama has been on this entire midterm election cycle. And most recently, he was in Philadelphia. And once again, he referred to Black men as cousin Pookies. I'm going to play that for you right now, and then we'll carry on with the discussion.
And then you need to get your friends and family to vote. Because we all have, you know, cousin Pookie. We all have Uncle Joe. They're sitting on the couch. Right now, as we speak, they're watching college football. And that's okay, except they've forgotten that they're supposed to vote. So you got to remind them. Take them with you when you go.
Listen to how he's talking about black men as if they're special needs people. You know what I mean? Like, they're sitting on the couch and they're watching football and they forgot to go vote. So you got to remind them, put their socks on for them, put their shoes on for them, drag them with you to come vote and promise them that you'll get them a 40 ounce on the way back home from the voting booth, right? You'll get cousin Pookie a 40 ounce on the way back home. This is how Barack Obama has been addressing black men over the last week as he's been campaigning for other Democratic candidates across the country, from Philadelphia to Michigan to Georgia and so on and so forth. This is what he's been doing, referring to black men as cousin Pookie, if they're just not automatically voting Democrat. Because obviously, if you don't vote Democrat, then you ain't black, according to Joe Biden. Okay. Now, after Stacey Abrams' video went somewhat viral on Twitter, it prompted me to say, well, you know what? Let me go back and look at her black men policy section, right? So I do that. I go back and I go to look at her section concerning black men, because apparently, like she said, we're misinformed and we just don't know what's going on. And I guess she's doing a lot for black men. So let me go back and relook at her policy concerning us. And I did that. And I've highlighted a few things here, right? So you see there's some things concerning economic security that she has lined out. And I'm sure you're wondering and thinking to yourself, why do you have all these points highlighted? Well, I'll show you. But before I show you, I want to preface it by saying this. What you're going to see right now is exactly why I despise the Democratic Party as much as I do. I am of no, I'm not suffering from any type of illusion that Republicans are just vastly better than Democrats, right? The Republican Party, that you vote Republican and, oh, the black community is just going to thrive now. That's not what I'm saying. But I despise the Democratic Party because this is the party that pretends to be Black America's friend when they're not. These people are deceivers and they're backstabbers. And you're going to see this right now. And this is why I have so many points highlighted. So, as you can see here in the economic security section, right? Provide capital and contract opportunities for Black small businesses. And you see establish a $10 million small business investment fund, eliminate fees and red tape to start your own business, increase purchasing for Black-owned businesses by state entities, allow multiple small companies to jointly bid on state contract as prime contractors, close the gap between minority and non-minority businesses, revenues in 6 to 8 years. At current pace will take 100 years. And then you see tax rebates for everyone making less than $250,000. Now, it's easy for me to just say, oh, none of this stuff is specific to Black folks, but you have to see it for yourself, right? You have to see it for yourself. And what Stacey Abrams is doing here, she's literally copy pasting the same policy points under every demographic who she's supposedly targeting and that she's doing something for. So now we're going to come over here to small businesses, right? Small businesses, this is not about race. It's not about closing any type of racial wealth gap. This is just small businesses. And when you scroll down here, you see she has all the same stuff copy paste over here that she does for Black men. Establish a 10 million small business investment fund, establish a $10 million small business investment fund, right? Eliminate fees and red tape to start your own business, eliminate fees and red tape to start your own business, right? It's literally the same thing. Allow multiple small companies to jointly bid on state contracts as prime contractors. I believe that same thing is over here. Yeah, allow multiple small companies to jointly bid on state contracts as prime contractor, right? Now, that's Black men and small businesses. Middle class has nothing to do with race or anything like that. It's just the people of Georgia, right? Just the middle class Georgians. Well, it's literally the same exact stuff that she is copy and pasting everywhere. Establish $10 million small business investment, eliminate fees and red tape to start your own business, close the gap between minority and non-minority businesses, so on and so forth. You even go over here to the AAPI community, right? Policy for AAPI community. I I'm just laughing because this is ridiculous. I'm not even gonna. I'm not gonna keep reading it because it's the same thing that I've been reading over and over again. She's just doing a copy paste job. Let's come over here to Black women, right? Black women. We come over here. The same thing. Establish a $10 million blah, blah, blah. Close the gap between minority, blah, blah, blah. Right? You see the tax rebates for everyone that makes less than 250,000. You come to the Latino community, policy for Latino community, right? It's all the same stuff. Let's establish a $10 million small business, blah, 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 right? Support first-time business owners with education, training, and so on and so forth. You come to the policy economic mobility. Policy economic mobility has nothing to do with race or anything of that nature. Once again, this is just simply for the people of Georgia, right? And I'm going somewhere with this, okay? So you scroll down and you see, once again, it's all the same stuff. Now I'm focusing primarily on the business and economic side of her platform, but it doesn't matter what we're talking about. If we're talking about housing, healthcare, jobs, wages, economics, it doesn't matter. Social mobility, housing, and healthcare. She's literally copy pasting all the same points everywhere, no matter who she's talking to, right? Whether it's she's talking to Black men, whether she's talking to small businesses, whether she's talking to middle-class Georgians, whether she's talking to the AAPI community, or whether she's talking to Black women, whether she's talking to the Latino community, or whether she's just speaking to economic mobility altogether. All she's doing is a copy-paste job. And my point is this: people love when I make these videos, those who just vote Democrat religiously, they love to make the argument, right? That, well, you're saying all this about the Democrats. Well, what about Republicans? What are they going to do for us? What are they going to do? Well, first thing is this. You never even engage with the Republicans. You don't even attempt to engage with them, right? So how can they do something or anything or put forth policies to help you out in any way, or for you to even know what they'll do to help you if you don't engage with them? You've been taught to automatically write Republicans off and just latch yourself to the Democratic Party bandwagon that's taken the Black community absolutely nowhere. So that's number one, right? But number two, let's just stay on that point. They're not doing anything, the Republicans, for Black folks, right? Well, neither are the Democrats, based on what I just showed you. If you go to Brian Kemp's website, by and large, it's just about Georgia. There's nothing really for any type of minority or people of color. It's just Georgians, right? Or Georgians, however you say it. Stacey Abrams' website is literally the same thing as Brian Kemp's. The only difference between Stacey Abrams and Brian Kemp is that she's putting out these fake these fake talking points of, look at what I'm doing for Black men. Look at what I'm doing for Black women. Look at what I'm doing for the Latino community. Look at what I'm doing for the AAPI community. The Democrats present themselves as if they're addressing you directly and are going to do something specifically for your community directly. But then once you get into the meat and potatoes of what they're all about and what they're doing specifically for you, you see that it's nothing, and that they're literally doing a copy paste job all across the board, right? Joe Biden literally did the same exact thing during his presidential run. And that's what got me to think of even going through her entire platform to see if she was doing the same thing. She's running the same exact play that Joe Biden ran, where when you go to the Black section, the Latino section, whatever, it's a copy paste job. So at that point, you got to ask yourself, what is the difference between Brian Kemp and Stacey Abrams? Other than Stacey Abrams, she's Black and she's a female. Outside of that, everything that she has on here essentially is a rising tide lifts all ships point of view concerning policies. It's all rising tide lifts all ships. And we know that that doesn't work. And you can clearly see that her whole philosophy is a rising tide lifts all ships because she doesn't have anything that's specifically for any group of people. Literally everything that I showed you is going to everyone, but she panders to specific groups of people as if she's going to do something for them when she's not doing anything for them. She's literally doing nothing different from Brian Kemp, other than the fact that she's pandering to Black folks. She panders to Latinos. She panders to everybody else, versus most Republicans who don't typically pander to a particular group. They just speak to Americans at large. So I just wanted to point that out for you concerning Stacey Abrams, because once again, it's very nauseating to sit and listen to them berate Black men and talk to us like we're crazy, like we're stupid, we're a bunch of cousin Pookies who don't understand anything. And then I come to your platform and I see that all you're doing is a copy paste job across the board, but then you're pretending as if you're speaking to me. It's disrespectful, and it's an insult to my intelligence. And all Black men and Black Americans should feel the same as well. So with all that being said, that does it for today's video. Please make sure you hit the subscribe button as well as the bell notification next to the subscribe button so you'll be notified whenever I release a new video. All social media links will be pinned in the comment section below. Also, make sure you text tdhiphop to number 33222. That's tdhiphop to number 33222. That way you get a direct text notification whenever I release a new video, but that also serves as a protection plan for myself. So in case YouTube ever gives this channel the axe, I'll be able to send you a direct link to where you can find me next. Also, don't forget to join the emailing list. That emailing list link will be pinned in the comment section below, as well as in the description box below. And also, if you want to show your support to the channel, you can do so via Patreon. The link to that is in the description as well as pinned in the comment section below. For only $3 a month, you can become a channel member by hitting the join button for only $3 a month, or you can show your support through Cash App. And my Cash App handle is $tdhiphop. So thank you for your time. And until the next video, peace.